everybody, it's SurvivorDude with another video up here. I want to quick kind of show you what I'm doing for my cabinetry and you know, countertops and all that interior stuff. So I've got a bit done here. It's looking pretty sweet. I still have a ways to go, but I want to make sure that you guys kind of get an understanding of how I put it all together. I've had a little bit of experience. I've done some cabinetry before, so you know, it kind of was easy for me, but I'll kind of quickly go over the process of how I got everything put together. But let's take a look at what I've got done. Ooh, this bench coming along, nice countertop, some cupboards, we got some space, got some more stuff. Just got to get some handles figured out. Nice countertop, super easy. Drawers. Got some full-length slides on there. Super nice. Very easy. And this will just be an open shelf. I'll just have some little shelf pins in here, storing whatever I need in here. Underneath here I'm going to have all kind of my electrical panel and all that kind of stuff. Just have a little removable front on this thing, but that'll all get covered up. But yeah, and then again the bench over here, the nice tongue and groove pine that I had salvaged from my last a job a while ago actually. I knew I wanted some up here, and yeah, this stuff is it looks really sweet, really nice, especially with that finish. Put some nice Varathane semi-gloss on this stuff and it just looks slick. So anyways, I'll try to walk you through the process of building these things. I'm not gonna go really into depth here because there's a lot to know, but it basically started out with laying it out all on the floor. I have all my cabinets that I figured out on the floor. This is without doors installed, so the actual just cabinet faces. So anyways, and then I build the boxes. I figure out what I want for my size, what I want for my depth. I did 18-inch deep cabinets because I could have done really whatever I wanted. Whatever I wanted to, but because I wanted some full depth opening drawers, you got to get the proper slides for it. And slides come in, I think it's like 16, 18, 20, kind of in those increments. And anyways, so I thought 18 would be good. I'd have enough counter space, but I would also, you know, not be eating up too much interior. Yes, I am obviously eating up interior, but you know, I need to utilize space, and you know, I think having a little 1 foot countertop would just be too small. So anyways, then I figured out all that. So the depth that I want, the height, I did 3 feet. That is, I think it's a little higher than a regular countertop, but because I'm a guy, I'm a little bit taller than a woman. So in most cases, generally countertops are made for the height that it's going to be comfortable for a woman. As sexist as that is, that's what I was taught in school. And they say, because you know, a woman most usually is in the kitchen more than a man. Not trying to be sexist whatsoever, but because I am a man, I like my countertop a little bit higher. Something comfortable for me, and 3 feet was just perfect. You know, right at my waist height, right, perfect, easy for working on. So figured out that 3 feet, I subtracted my countertop height, which I wanted 1.5 inches. So subtract that, and then my toe kick, I added 4 inches from here to here. That will be a bit shorter because my finished floor coming on, but I'm still gonna have plenty of room for a toe kick because I think it's only 3.5 you do. So anyways, 1.5 minus 4, or actually no, I did 4.5 because I subtracted a total of 6 inches off my height. So 3 feet minus 6 inches, we're at 30 inches. So my boxes were 30 inches high, 18 inches deep, and then it was whatever width that I determined. For this one, it was plumb and as close up to these logs as I could get, whatever that was. This one here, it was kind of tough to figure out, but I figured out where this would return into the stairs. I wanted the edge of this countertop to be flush here. I didn't want it to be anywhere past because I would look stupid having this nub of the counter sticking past there. So anyways, then I just kind of worked off there and got this cabinet width. So you got your length, your width, and your height. You build it. I used sanded plywood, 5/8 inch. And then you can kind of look at the construction on the inside here. Just let me take this door off. So sanded plywood, so I get a nice interior finish. It doesn't look just, like garbage plywood. And then I got some nice just pine edge tape. Edge tapes the ends so you don't get that nasty laminated, again, unfinished look. Really easy to do. I'll put a couple caps over my screws that I used to fasten all these cupboards into place. And then I just gave this all a nice seal. This corner here is not a box at all. It's totally open underneath, and it was on the top. I just made these two pieces afterwards to connect these two, obviously to follow my countertop and what my layout was on the floor. I could have put a little, again, a corner kind of cabinet in here, but I thought I've got plenty of room. I'll also be opening up the back here, having a pop-out panel so I can access all that room under the stairs. So that will be good. As for actually building the boxes, obviously you want your finished outsides, height, and everything to be what you have per spec. So you have to do some subtracting, like for my bottom pieces here. I have to subtract 5/8 on either side to get the length of this piece, just for example. And also, that being said, for the bottoms, you wouldn't want the bottom going full length, because that means this piece is being attached up into here, into your sides. And when you think about it, when there's pressure applied, that would just want to pop down. You have it all glued and I've got it screwed together, but there's going to be less strength there. If you do it not full length and secure it sideways like this, I've got little brad nails in here and screws, but that shear strength is going to be a heck of a lot more than it's just pulling straight down. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what you want for the construction of that. Built my doors here. Again, it was just really quick, easy, nothing super fancy. Just got it's actually deck board. And I just, trying to find something cheap that I'm not going to absolutely just blow the bank on. I could get some hardwood. I just didn't want anything shrinking and coming apart. So I thought, this deck board is treated, so that's going to help me a little bit. Just did a picture frame, mitered the corners, just dadoed in. This is 1/4 inch sanded plywood, and then just put it all together. I made it, the width and height of these, I'd make 1/8 smaller than the total height, so I got a 1/16 on the top and bottom to play with. European hinges, laid these out on my door 3 inches down, and then I just literally held these up to my cabinet, marked out where these plates go, popped it in, made some fine adjustments, and that was pretty much it. The countertop here, I've got, this is just pine shelving that I got from Rona. Again, really cheap. It was super good because it's all done and laminated. I obviously had to cut out my pieces, 45'd it on the corner, cut it all around. All of this, had to make a couple measurements and a couple trips up here to get it fitting right, but got that all together. And then I put on a nice rounded over 1.5 by 1.5 edge on this thing, again just with pine. This was reused stuff, so I had a lot of holes and screws in it from, you know, before when these were, I don't even know where I got these from, but I just sanded them, filled them with some wood filler, some natural stuff. I forget what this stuff is called. It's by LePage. And anyways, then I just stained it all, you know, and it doesn't look too bad. You can't really tell. But again, that Varathane semi-gloss over top of this thing, and it looks slick. A little backsplash with the same material as my door frames. And then I'm gonna put a little sink right in here. I'm not gonna have running water, but I wanted a sink because I can easily warm up water, or in the summertime I don't even need to warm up water, but just I can have somewhere to have water to wash dishes, to wash food, to do anything like that. Because in the last cabin I had built, we didn't have that, and it was really hard to clean things, you know. So I think it's a really good idea, again, just for that sense of sanitation. So that'll be good. I'm going to cut it out right here, and it's just going to have a drain going right out the side of the cabin. And then all this sweet pine, nice, super fun having to cut around all these logs. It's not perfect, but I think, you know, it's pretty damn good enough. The corners here, I made a nice little, again, picture frame around this cabinet. Same thing with the edge taping, this box layout, exactly the same as the others. And then, yeah, this pine, I 45'd, made some strips, and then I'm just gonna do all this, all the underside of here, and then somehow wrap the edge of these stairs. And I'm gonna have some electrical in here, so that's why I'm not finishing all that yet. But yeah, there's a lot going on. As for the bench, just framed this all out of 2x4s and 2x6s, built this whole thing up. First of all, because I've got some storage underneath these. Anyways, I gotta put a hole in these guys, but it gives me a little bit of extra depth. So, you know, again, utilizing as much space as I can. And then it's just nice because, you know, when you come to sit down, you don't really have to. It's like at a restaurant where a lot of times you'll see that their benches are up on a little raised platform, because when you're sitting down, if this wasn't, I would have to drop myself a long way to get down to my seat. But this way, I step up and I really don't have to go far to sit down. So it's a lot more comfortable. Put a little overhang on here just so I get a little bit of extra foot room. And then table, I'm gonna cut a little post notch right in the front edge of here that I can slip a post that I can get in and out, so I can take the table in or out as I want, and just have a little triangular table in this corner. I'm just gonna be going over the interior and the electrical. I know, electrical, it's crazy. I wasn't really thinking of having much other than solar, but I want to show you. My grandfather actually had this big generator that he wasn't using anymore, so he gave it to my dad. My dad didn't need it, so he gave it to me, and we put it up behind the cabin here. So we've got power for the cabin for whatever we want to do, which is super sweet. So put this thing up here behind this rock. I want to build a little shelter around this thing, not only to keep the noise down, but to obviously keep this thing out of the elements. For now, it's working great. It's got its own bunch of its own breakers on here and outputs. This guy just kept falling out, so I taped it on there. But I've got 3 separate circuits units for this cabin. Buried them all in a conduit under the ground, which again was great because digging in this now would be a total pain in the butt. we got it all running down, all underneath here. Can't even tell, which is super sweet. I'll have to do a bit more digging and stuff, and that kind of comes up finally right here into the cabin. All right, so this is it all working. We got lights outside. I got a tongue and groove all this, but yeah, I know it's super sweet to get lights outside. I'm gonna have spotlights off the front there, but really good to work with. All the tongue and groove for the ceiling. This is actually the flooring I brought up today. Hopefully gonna be working on that in my next video. But yeah, inside lights, we got speakers, wired speakers. We'll have a system, I'm gonna have a system up top there with all the stereo and stuff. But otherwise, we can take a trip upstairs. We've done, like I said, all this tongue and groove. I just got this all done yesterday. This was super fun, getting it tight to here, but that's all done. It looks super sweet. Again, 2 more speakers up here, lights up here. We've got our switches. This is a 3-way switch downstairs for, I'm gonna have a little chandelier there. And this is up top here. Also got a switch outside for a sweet little outside light. But anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Things are progressing very fast now. This place is starting to look super sweet, so keep your eyes open. I'll see you in my next video. Have a good night.